top5rapwebsite.com. You already know what's going on. Friday live stream. How's everybody doing? Hold on, let me put my ear thing in. How's everybody doing out there? I'm looking mad rough. Your boy need a haircut and a lineup. But yo, we still come on camera though. Let me see. We got some people in the chat already. Shout out Hunter, shout out Courtney in the chat. Let me hit a little sound for y'all. So y'all see what we doing today. I know a lot of people's asking me about this Bobby Altoff Drake interview. I saw that Rap Latte did a video on it. I've actually never reacted to a Rap Latte video. I don't even think I've seen a full video by them. I just know it's Torre from, where was Torre? Was Torre on BET? Let me see. He was on BET, right? I thought he was on BET. Journalist from Boston. I lived in Boston. Okay, maybe he wasn't on BET. I thought he was on BET. But yeah, I guess that's his channel. Never known him to be a hip hop guy, but you never know people's hobbies. You know what I mean? Shout out Zero in the chat. Yeah, hit the like button. Let's get up in that algorithm. Y'all know how we do first. First, we're gonna look at some housekeeping. New videos on the channel. I think I got like 3 since the last live stream. No, we got 2 new videos since the last live stream. We got one I just dropped today, which is like the Drake fans' reaction to his live stream yesterday. I've actually never seen this. I got the same thing I got on now. I just don't have my hat. Where did my hat go? That's what I really need. But yeah, it's this one and then also the Young Thug video. So yeah, tap in. Channel's actually, I mean, yo, this month and last month have been like the 2. If I had to pick like the top 10 months that my channel's ever had in terms of views, this month and last month is both like top 10. So 2 consecutive great months of views. I've been posting, good views, videos of good views. We got a 6K here, we got a 12K or a 24K. And also last month. So we trucking along pretty nicely. I'm on the road to 20K and I almost got 1,000 videos. So yeah, this month and last month, thanks to y'all liking the video helps a bunch. But this month and last month, thanks to y'all, is like 2 of my best months on this channel. Obviously, nothing is going to top that month when I drop this video with 381,000 views. That's an anomaly. But like, I've gotten some of my biggest months like this month and last month. So yeah, salute to y'all. It's been a good year for the channel so far. And we're just going to keep it going. What's your favorite Kendrick Lamar song and why? I'm going to actually do a video on that. I'm going to do a video on my favorite Kendrick song. The same way the same way I break down his songs, I'm going to do a video on my favorite song. Yeah, new Young Thug song is horrifically bad. I don't even listen to that. I don't even listen to that type of stuff, to be honest. But you know what I saw today? You know what I saw today that we got to tap into? Hold on. Where did that post? Ricky Dredd. So I guess it's from the Culture United. How was that Culture United episode? Y'all let me know. Was it a good episode? But yo, we gotta watch this real quick. I know a lot of y'all haven't seen this. We gotta tap into this right quick.
Right. So you guys
and the thing of it is, I've been you, but you've never been me. And that's just simply.
So this is Stat Quo. He's a rapper. He used to be signed to Aftermath. So, and he's talking to y'all guy Curtis King. Let's see what he got to say.
Support your family and pay your mortgage.
What up, Sammy in the chat?
So you guys
and the thing of it is, I've been you, but you've never been me. And that's just simply that.
You have not been me. Let's stop that. I don't like the flexing.
Oh man, yo, Curtis King is this guy took it the wrong way. Shout out to Fareez. You said it was fire. That's good. That's good. I like messy shit though. I like messy shit like this. Pause. Curtis King, he's a little sensitive right here.
I've been you, but you've never been me.
So his Stat Quo is saying like, yo, I've been you, but you've never been me, in the context of Stat Quo saying, yo, Curtis, I've been an independent artist before. I know how that goes. But Curtis, you've never been in my shoes, signed to a major label like Aftermath, which is a subsidiary of Interscope, right? So he's saying basically, I've been an independent artist, but Curtis, you ain't been a major artist. And Curtis King just take it the whole wrong way.
That's just simply that.
You have not
Curtis
been,
King take everything the wrong
stop
way.
that. I don't like the flexing. The flexing is
It's not flexing. It's not
It
flexing.
is.
Yo, he said, I don't like the flexing. Why was Stat Colby trying to flex on you? This man wasn't like a super successful rapper. Yo, this is called a, now I don't want to say projection, but this is like an insecurity. Nobody's flexing on you, my guy.
I don't like the flexing. The flexing is
it's not flexing. It's not.
Even Company Man is like, oh my, he's like, come on, Curtis. Screwface Gene, y'all know I don't even mess with this dude like that. Even Screwface Gene is like, come on, dog.
It is.
What I'm saying, I've been independent.
Hold on.
I've been independent.
No. I'm gonna honor your statement.
Oh, he got the hands going, girl.
You cannot independent. Stop it. You've never been Curtis King.
No. What I'm saying is you're discussing the journey
You're
of someone
discussing
that's independent.
Yo, Stat Cole is trying to explain to this man. No, I'm talking about like the journey of an independent artist. Curtis King is like, girl, you never been Curtis King. Oh shit. Oh man. How did that Cameron diss song go? Curtis! You killing me, dog.
Oh, sorry. Jose.
No.
Curtis, do me a favor. Give Sat a chance. Give Sat a chance to finish.
Thank you, Justin Hunt. Appreciate you. Yo, give Stat Cole a chance because you're not hearing him. This is what... He's a nice guy, though. Company Man is really like, yo, Curtis, shut the fuck up so Stat Cole, so you can understand what he's saying because you're offended for no reason, my guy.
No.
Curtis, do me a favor. Give Sat a chance. Give Sat a chance to finish. I don't think you're taking that the right way, Curtis.
Yeah.
Everybody on the panel is looking at Curtis King like, bro, why did you take that way? And me and you, we're looking at this convo right as stuff popped off. So we don't even have the context that Curtis King has right here. Curtis King has the context to understand why Stat Quo said what he said. But he still chose to get offended. Yo, this is, and again, like I said, man, Curtis King, this is someone who I've in a past show nothing but love to. He goes on these interviews talking crazy about me. So yeah, there's no love lost here. This is just, this dude is like super in his feelings.
Taking it the wrong way because you.
I don't think you're taking that the way.
Yeah, you taking that the wrong way. What I'm saying, what Glasses just said, right? The perspective that you're speaking from as an independent artist that's not dependent on labels, that's doing.
And he want to talk so bad. This is called listening to respond, not listening to understand. As Stat Cole is trying to explain to this dude, you're taking this the wrong way because we're talking about the journey of an independent artist. Curtis King, he just wants to get his word in.
The perspective that you're speaking from as an independent artist that's not dependent on labels, that's doing the marketing yourself, that's making
Anaheim,
it out
California.
of your room, putting it out, making money from it. What I'm saying to you, I have done that. Okay, I don't know your journey.
Right.
I just meet you right now. But when you're speaking of totally being independent,
right?
Totally being
he's experienced that.
No labels, none of that.
He's still offended. So Stat Cole done explained it to him. He's still offended. He's laughing as if people's taking shots at him. This is just odd behavior. Curtis wants to be a victim in every situation. I mean, I don't know the guy like that, but sheesh.
Totally being self-sufficient, no labels, none of that, making it yourself, making the product. I'm speaking from that perspective, like LaRussell, for instance.
Child LaRussell, Bay Area.
I've done that. Now, I don't know I don't know how familiar you are with the actual business and dealing with the crackers. I deal with the crackers.
He said crackers. Professor Sky looked. He looked up. It's like, we ain't talking about you, Professor Sky. You're chill. You're chill.
I'm the spook that sat by the elevator. So what I'm saying to you is, I'm talking about that. You get what that's what
dude is trying so hard not to bust out in laughter.
I'm talking about. So
what I'm saying is, you sounded like the crackers.
Oh my, here we go. You sounding like the crackers. So Stat Cole is trying to explain to this dude beyond his emotions, like I think you misunderstood me. This is what I'm saying. Stat Cole goes on this whole monologue trying to re-explain to Duke what he was actually saying the first time. Curtis King goes, "Oh, you sound like the Crackers."
What I'm saying is, you sounded like the Crackers, and that's what I'm getting from this entire conversation. Is you've been sounding like the Crackers. You've been trumping integrity in the name of if you can make hit records, you can sell stuff. We can look over all of that other.
Well, what are you talking about? But Rule said condescending. Yeah, so emotional.
I've already done that.
I can't apply that. You have never been me. You've been independent. That is one thing we have in common. I have never been you, and I want to respect the difference.
Bro, you know what he was saying, though. You a rapper, Curtis King, right? So you understand figure of speech. You understand metaphors, right? You understand all this, right?
That exists there.
He said, "I'm a duck out."
I'm sorry, we moved on to the next topic. I will move on to the next topic.
Tripping for real.
I definitely.
So Curtis, he left. He leaves the panel. Come on, bro. You know how many people tuned in live stream to Culture United? Well, I don't know. But you know how many people tune in to see you talk and you leave over something that I would say this is a minor disagreement, but it's not even a disagreement. They didn't disagree about anything. In my loose cannon voice, sweetie. Oh man, I don't understand how y'all watch shit like that. But yeah, shout out to the other people on the panel. Shout out to Stat Quo. Yo, Stat Quo had what NBA Live did he have a song on? Was it 2005? Let me see. NBA Live. Maybe it was 06. I think this is it right here, 06. Let's see. Oops, clicked away. Stat Quo had a couple songs, I mean, but when you under Dr. Dre's wing, it's hard. It's hard to come up. Yeah. Stat Quo, shout out to Stat Quo. He said, finish the clip? Okay, I'm gonna finish the clip. I didn't finish it?
Definitely think this is going the direction that
yeah,
I don't think that you were coming from that standpoint.
Exactly.
I think, you know what I'm saying? I think, but sometimes that happens. Hey, right here, Culture United, it's all happening. We'll take an applause.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah, man. Anyway, that's there you go. I thought that was hilarious. Ricky Dredd says Curtis gets in his feelings and lead a Culture United panel after Stat Quo owns him. Shout out Ricky Dredd. Shout out, to them Toronto boys. Y'all got probably the worst accent of all time. Like Toronto and Baltimore, unbearable accents. But Ricky Dredd is my guy though. Yes, I don't think Stat Quo owned him. I think he owned himself. Stat Quo was on Midnight Club. Yeah, Stat Quo, yeah, he was on Madden too. Yeah, Stat Quo had a run from like 05 to 06 where he was on all the soundtracks. So, yeah, he's soft with a capital T. All capitals. Troy Culture United might be looking for a new West Coast representative. You up next? I doubt that. Yeah, I'm controversial, bro. It'd take a certain type of person to have me on. But anyway, I just had to watch that because I thought it was hilarious. So anyway, we on Torre's video. Let me stop calling this man Torre. This is Rap Latte. Drake is scared of hip hop media. Apparently, y'all think he's scared because he did this Bobby Altoff interview which I didn't watch. So I hope they have some clips so we can reference what he's talking about. Let's get right into it.
Altoids again for another.
Ain't this dude from the Young Turks? Don't he be on the Young Turks? Black Rabbit said, "What I miss." Oh, you just miss. Yeah, we were just talking about. Yeah, it's not important.
Another scintillating interview. Why is he even talking to offbeat, white, not hip hop, not entertainment, not culture media?
So this is where I have the issue, right? I'm a mod on Curtis and TCM, so maybe, like I said, all these years I known Curtis King. I known about him since I was like a teenager. I'm talking about the Proving Grounds, Riverside, Bell Tower, the Barn. This is how far, and I've told this dude that I don't know why he comes out the side of his mouth about me, but this is why I don't care anymore. So anyway, this is the issue that I have with Torre. Not Torre. This is the issue what I have with what Torre is saying. Why is Drake doing media with non-hip hop platforms, like these kind of softballs, right? Softball interviews. This is a fine take to have. You can think this, but I just like to see some consistency when it comes to Kendrick. Because Kendrick Lamar had a horrible interview with Harper's Bazaar, which I think was his first interview post beef with Drake. This was a horrible, horrible interview. Harper's Bazaar is not, this is like a fashion magazine. He's been interviewed by SZA, but it's under the guise of Harper's Bazaar. This is the most softball interview, and it's not a hip hop platform. So as long as Touré is willing to keep the same energy with this, because y'all know, I love Kendrick's music. I don't like this interview. I just be pointing stuff out that I like and don't like. As long as Touré can keep this same energy with this interview, I'm perfectly fine with this take. I'll rewind it a bit so y'all can hear that again.
Scintillating interview. Why is he even talking to offbeat, white, not hip hop, not entertainment, not culture media?
Remember, Harper's Bazaar is none of that.
Is he supposed to talk? Clearly, he's supposed to talk to these people. He ain't supposed to talk to anybody else. I saw something what Charlamagne said, and I agree with it. His half-white side is on display.
See, I don't know if I would make this a race thing. I don't know if I make it a race thing. What y'all think though? I'm gonna start reading the chats. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna read the chats.
He's out there doing what you can't get mad at this. What are you talking about?
Y'all go hate on him for being half white.
Nobody, that's not hate.
I'm not.
Hey, shout out to all the mixed breeds out there. Shout out to all the mixed people. I have no issue with white people though. Shout out to the white people. When I was in high school, my English teacher, super old white dude. He wasn't super old white dude. He was cool. His son, shout out to Luke. He ended up going to UC Santa Barbara. We used to kick it over his house. They was a cool white family. Make us dinner. They got a super nice household. You'd be like, dang, it ain't this nice in my household. Everybody is nice to each other.
I'm not doing that. I'm hating on him for being Canadian. That to me is the big problem.
He's trolling.
But anyway,
that's not about being that. The hate is there's no hate about him.
Yeah, fair point. Winks24 said Kendrick also did an interview with Ebro. Does that not matter? That's a very fair point. So Kendrick, he goes and does this horrible Harper's Bazaar interview, but then he also doubles back and does an interview with Ebro. You're right. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Half white. I'm actually saying he could do that. He could do whatever he wants and be over there. People are talking about his accent and all this shit like that and switching up. It's like this is who
he is, who he's been.
He explained why he's talking to Bobby and not to actual hip-hop media that would ask him real questions.
Yeah, UCSB is a very nice school. Yes, UCSB is super nice, yo. Some of my best moments, some of my best collegiate moments on Del Playa, Deltopia, Oh, man, we're not going to even go too deep into it, but, we had our party times. We had our party times back then. Drake music sound different because now he has to rap like a Canadian. I don't think his music sounds different.
It's about the battle, the music, the lack of flow.
My life that I fully believed in.
I think he's just like zesty. I've always felt this way about Drake. And shout out to the LGBT community, you know what I mean? Shout out to all the gay niggas, you know what I mean? I've never had issue with any LGBT person. I've had nothing but positive things to say, right? But Drake just comes off zesty to me.
That I thought was really
just an observation.
I wanted to have an interesting conversation with.
Shout out to the LGBT.
Like so many all these fucking losers, these story journalists and this guy and that guy who feels so entitled to this interview about.
But I would even say this, even before this whole Kendrick and Drake beef, I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but Drake rarely still did interviews with the hip hop culture platforms, right? That I guess that we would consider culture. Drake would do his interviews with the Apple Music guy. Who was that Apple Music guy? I thought his name was Tom or something. Apple Music, Drake. Oh, his name was Tom. Yeah, he would do it with these people. Zane Lowe is his name. Drake did have this interview with B-Dot and Ellie and Wilson. And I think this is their best interview. Not that, yeah, their best interview and Drake's best interview. They really got to a lot of topics in this interview with Drake, which is why he needs to come on these platforms more. But once Drake became a superstar, I don't really remember him like going to the Breakfast Club or going to Hot 97. I don't remember that. And this is before the battle. Shout out to Skittles. Yo, we ain't gonna call them Skittles. They the homies, bro. LGBT, they the homies. Can't stand his narrative that Drake owes his answers to real or hard questions like he's the president. He doesn't owe us answers, but I would like, and I feel this way about Kendrick too. I would like them to interview with someone who's at least going to ask them the questions. If SZA is interviewing Kendrick, she's not going to ask him anything he doesn't want to be asked. If Bobby Altoff is interviewing Drake, same thing with her. She's not going to ask him anything he doesn't want to be asked. I would like, and one of the reasons why people respect Charlemagne the God so much is Charlemagne will tell you, or so he says, you can't hand me a list of questions before the interview that I can't ask. You're not going to do that. Or we're just not going to do the interview. I don't understand like Drake and Kendrick having this whole epic moment in hip hop, this battle, and then not wanting to talk about it. I don't get that.
And Drake never does anything for like this type of media. And it just like made people so angry that two people who actually like have just like maybe nothing to talk about or everything to talk about, but just based on like
word salad,
random energy could come together.
Okay.
I think it changed a lot of things.
That word salad, Nardwuar, yeah, Nardwuar, probably the GOAT interviewer, Nardwuar. I do think Bobby thing is overblown. It feels more like an I told you so moment for people. Yeah, I think so too, but I think Drake is suffering from expectations with this album rollout. People, even his own fans, and I did a video on this today, his own fans are even their expectations are high. So even though Drake is not really doing anything different, he's still not coming on these hip hop cultural platforms like that. He's still releasing like the same like dog shit music written by Lil Yachty. But even his own fans, like they're kind of like, we need a little bit more due to the expectation. Neither one of them have done a bunch of interviews for the last few years. Yeah, that's true. It don't sound different. People just catching up to his mediocre artistic choices. I don't need to go on about this. Y'all already know how I feel about Drake's music the past 5-6 years. This is nothing different than what he's been doing. Let's keep it going.
Okay.
It changed a lot of things like on TikTok. It changed a lot of things like in the streaming world. Like it made people more comfortable.
Yo, Torre is sick of this. Yo, I feel the same as Torre right now. He kind of looked like Albert Einstein. No, not Cornel West. Cornel West.
To go sit down with somebody that they've never sat down with before, like not to take like overly take credit, but when I do see like somebody,
here I go,
who keeps to themselves, like a Nicki Minaj, like go to like Kai Cenat's house, or like I see,
You said Nicki Minaj keeps to herself? Nicki Minaj be going in on these rap girls. And this is a side note, the thing I respect about Nicki, right? And I don't really like her music. Nicki Minaj doesn't have one verse, and I'm sorry to the Barbs out there, but Nicki Minaj, I literally just shouted out the LGBT community. Now I'm about to ruin all my goodwill with what I'm about to say about Nicki. She doesn't have one verse that I think is even quotable like that, outside of the Monster verse. She got a song with Mariah Carey that I like. But Nicki has never spat nothing to where I'm like, dang, that was hot. Ever. But one thing I respect about Nicki is when she came in the game, she took the crown from Lil' Kim. Like she chopped Lil' Kim's head off, figuratively. Like completely embarrassed her. Completely just got Lil' Kim all the way out the pocket because that was the top female in rap at the time. Nicki, it seems like now she's challenging the young crop of girls to do that. But none of them have done it yet. So she keep it hip hop. That's what I respect about Nicki. Drake's white voice is grating. I don't even know if that's his white voice. I think that's Drake's legitimate talking voice. I don't think it's anything wrong with it. I do think he sounds a little zesty though, but I don't think that has anything to do with being white. I think he just is zesty sounding.
Okay.
These musicians.
Yeah, the whole itty bitty song is quotable. Yeah, she's got quotables. Did I say she doesn't have quotables? If I said that, my mistake. She doesn't have any verse where I'm like, that was a hot verse, is what I meant. She's wasted potential to me. If she was rapping like she was on Monster, she'd be good. Yo, y'all might want to hang me for this, but I don't even think her Monster verse was that great. I think Kanye West had the best verse on Monster.
Go to like a guy like Blackboy Max's studio and start making songs with him. Like, I feel like we did usher in the idea of just like you can be from two completely different walks.
Make sure y'all like that video too.
Are not here that we're not.
Oh man, celebrities could actually do things with normal people, you know, and I kind of ushered that shit in that, like, you know, celebrities can be normal.
I don't even know what Drake was trying to get at right there. It was just a lot of word salad, but I'm glad they're playing clips because I haven't seen that interview.
Story journalists were mad. I am not one of the people he's talking about there. I was not mad that he did.
Yo, my guy is morphing into Cornel West.
Did you just say why is he not going? Why is he talking to her and not talking to other people?
Well, it's the two things. I don't have any problem with him talking to a Bobby and saying perhaps we could have an interesting conversation because she's not from the hip hop world. That is fine as one of your media choices.
Yeah.
But when you make it like, I'm going to have a long form with Bobby and not talk to any.
Well, we don't know if Drake is going to talk to anybody else, right? We don't know if that's the only interview he's going to do. But based on Drake's history, if he does interview with someone from the culture, just historically, based on precedent, it's going to be Rap Radar, B-Dot, and or Elliott Wilson. Drake stopped sitting down with Hot 97 and The Breakfast Club. He stopped doing that like on his first album. Once he didn't have to do it anymore, he stopped doing it. So I don't think it's something new. Zombie, Goblin, Cyclops, not a hot verse. Oh, he's talking about the Nicki Monster verse.
Hip hop media. That's where I have a problem because you're supposed to be.
Yeah, someone said Hove had the best verse on Monster. He had you know the verse everyone forgets about on Monster though? You could say any of those guys. Kanye, Hove, Nicki, they all had good verses. Everybody forget about Rick Ross's verse because it's right in the beginning.
A rapper, you should be in a conversation with people who talk about this, live this, cover this, so we can talk about your music, maybe the battle, maybe the lawsuit. Bobby, as far as I can tell, did not ask about the battle, did not ask about the lawsuit.
Right.
Does she not care about those things?
When she asked hard-hitting questions, kind of, she asked about the abs.
Okay.
She asked about she asked about the allegation. She also asked about or talked about them falling out. All the things that are leaked for her. You could tell that
Drake gains nothing from engaging with any existing hip hop platform. He won't gain any new fans. I said, what do y'all feel about that? Rabbit in the chat, he says, Drake gains nothing from engaging with any existing hip hop platform because he won't gain any new fans. What do y'all think about that? I don't know if I would say he gains nothing, but yeah, I do think that there's no convincing the people who are committed to being unconvinced. Right? It won't be Elliott. You don't think it'll be Elliott? Well, I say Elliott because Drake has done multiple interviews with Elliott Wilson in the past. So if he does sit down with the hip hop platform, that's most likely, right?
Even felt a little way. There was things that she clearly could not say, and that's what he wants. He wants a controlled environment wherever he's going. That's where he's at. He's in that space. I don't think he should. He has a lawsuit on a nigga, on a whole rapper. Really, the company, but it's because of the rap beef.
Sure.
He has a whole lawsuit that is the detriment of hip hop media in general.
I get it.
He should not be talking to any hip hop.
He can't blame the law.
Oh, I like that. Mark Oliver said Drake got to go on Drink Champs. That would be great. And I would watch that probably multiple times. If Drake sat down with Drink Champs, That would be hot. Yeah, show his love for music and pop, and pop it. Yeah, go on Drink Champs and pop it. You know what I mean? That's a great idea, actually. Drake on Drink Champs. Drake going double back with LeBron James at the barbershop. What you mean? Oh, you talking about the LeBron James barbershop little interview show? Okay, yeah.
For his media choices, right? He's not talking about an incident, like a criminal incident, like that's bullshit. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
No, I'm saying that's not a character, and we shouldn't care. My point is, I don't think I would like to see crazy shit and people ask the hard questions, but I know that he wouldn't because it's not in his character.
See,
I mean, my thing is, if you're going to have the controlled environment, which any superstar would want, if Rihanna does an interview, yeah, it's going to be a controlled environment, and you're going to have questions you can ask and you can't ask, or you're just not going to have the interview. Jay-Z, controlled environment. Kendrick, Drake, they're all that same cloth. But my thing is, at least ask the question. You know, I have a lot of smoke for this Harper's Bazaar interview that Kendrick did, but SZA at least asked about the diss records. Obviously, they had their whole mental health and therapy response. Oh, Not Like Us is about energy and morals. BS response. But at least they asked. So we don't feel like we're being duped. But if Drake, you're just gonna go to these places where they don't even ask you about it. Yeah, I can see how that would be a little irritating. He pretty much expressed his state of mind on what did I miss. Right. Yeah, he could just be leaving it to the music. He hate Joe though, but I agree. I think Nori will let him get off hate though. Yeah, he wouldn't go on Joe Budden. Actually, he might, because him and Joe Budden have history. But it's like a rocky relationship from what Joe Budden be saying, right? But they seem to be cordial on talking terms at least. But yeah, I would like to see Drake more so on Drink Champs. I like that idea.
But these aren't necessarily hard questions. Just a person who is knowledgeable of hip hop walking through, let's talk about the battle.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, I mean, even if he says, I can't talk about the lawsuit.
Right. Yeah. At least ask.
Like, we could have a conversation about the battle without me asking like hard questions. I mean, I don't know what the hard questions are. How did you feel when, you know?
I know what I would ask Drake if I interviewed him about the battle. I would ask him, how many records did you have planned? Because you teased the Family Matters joint from the beginning. And then after that, it kind of just seemed like you kind of fell off a little bit. Kendrick kept dropping, you couldn't keep up. I would ask him, do you feel like the pace got out of hand? Like with Kendrick going back to back, and then you going back to back, then Kendrick going back to back, do you feel like that pace got out of hand? I would ask like questions like that about like his creative state at the time. Like he was fresh off tour, but you still chose to engage. How did you feel about this? Like when you created these records, where were you? Were you in your studio? Like where was you at? Like, I don't know.
You heard Meet the Grams. When you heard Not Like Us.
Yeah.
Like, how do you
Okay, what is the hard question? Because to me,
those is great questions. Like, yeah, where were you when you heard Not Like Us? Did you hear it fresh, or did someone send you the message? Oh, look what Kendrick said. Man, come on. Yeah, Pacino Rose said, I got a bunch of questions for Kendrick. Me too. I want to know about Kendrick's creative state. Did you just sit here and record all these songs at once? Why did you take 3 weeks after the Taylor Made joint? Why'd you take 3 weeks? Was you recording all the songs? Because you started dropping them. How many more do you have left? There's like a rumor that there's like a 12 or 14 minute version of Euphoria that's out there. Like the version of Euphoria that we got was a shortened version. That's a rumor out there. I would ask him about that. Was Euphoria longer, or was it? Because you know, like Nas's Ether, that's like there's a longer version of that out there. Tupac's Hit 'Em Up, there's a longer version. I'd ask Kendrick that. I would ask him how much more. You said on Not Like Us, you said you got like 5 more in stock. Did you really have 5 more? But both Kendrick and Drake don't want to talk about it. It's like the biggest moment we've ever had in hip hop, and they don't want to talk about it.
Like those are the hard questions. So what's
those
that?
Are the real questions, but they're not hard. Like they're not. I don't think it takes any courage.
Well, I thought that the implication of hard questions, we could not be semantical. I thought the implication of hard questions is the questions that he doesn't really want to answer.
Yeah,
is the hard question.
I mean, I don't see. Like, I always felt like the questions that are clearly relevant. Your last album sold less than the albums before.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing okay? Is that a hard question? Like, those are just facts. You did platinum, and gold. I don't, or 300.
That is, not a hard question because that's not something I don't think they don't want to talk about.
But when I ask you,
extended version came from Punch on Curtis King TV. Yeah, that's where I remember seeing that. I think we reacted to that Punch interview when it came out. I think I did a live stream on that one. Yeah, I would ask about that. Euphoria. How did you decide what made the cut and what didn't? And but again, I think these are questions that anybody would ask. I don't think these are like just super unique questions to me. But these guys are like bent. Both Drake and Kendrick, they're bent on not talking about it. Like, I'm not talking about this. Why? And then when they finally allow someone to ask them the question, it's going to be 3-4 years later, and they're going to be like, "Oh, this is old. You want to know about this old stuff?" Yes, bro, because you never talked about it. Like, this is how Nas did Ether. Like, there was a point where Nas no longer wanted to talk about Ether. You can go watch his Nardwuar interview. He gets mad at Nardwuar for asking about Ether. Like, bro, that's your song, though. Your song. Troy gonna ask why you made the features. Yeah, I'm gonna ask Kendrick about them GNX features, too. Are you disappointed? I think he's waiting to break that record before having any in-depth convos, so he feels like he's in a stronger position. Yeah. See, I trust Elliott Wilson and B-Dot to have that interview with Drake. There's a couple people in like the hip hop culture space that I would trust to have that Drake interview. Rap Radar, which is Elliott Wilson and B-Dot, Charlemagne, and I think Nori would ask it too. I think Nori would ask it too, but Nori he's not going. Well, he got EFN with him, but Nori doesn't seem like the type that'll double down to really get the answer. Like if Drake tries to jump around the question, Nori's not like the type to be like, "Yeah, I hear you, but let's get back to the joint." You know what I mean? I don't know. You don't want to talk about it because Drake's suing? Paperwork Poppy, yeah. Everyone just wants to ask the low-hanging fruit questions. Well, the thing is, I don't think people want to ask the low-hanging fruit questions. I think people just realize that they're not going to get the interview if they ask these questions. It's usually a conversation that the artist has before the interview even happens. Like, don't ask me about these things. So
I know you do steroids. Why won't you admit it? That's a hard question, right? Because it's not within the.
So the abs question is a hard question. I know you had ab procedure, but you don't admit it. Why won't you admit it?
I think that was a hard question.
I don't think it's a hard question.
I think it's a hard question.
It's a cutesy question. It's not central to who he is in the way.
I disagree with Tori here. I think the abs question is a legit question. I don't know who better to ask that question than someone like Bobby Altoff. But you're going to have a man ask Drake about his abs, And the abs thing, it was one of the core tenets of Euphoria, Kendrick's diss record Euphoria. So they're asking Drake directly about a diss that Kendrick made. So I do think that's a hard question.
That using steroids was central to who 50 Cent was, and he was saying one thing, and established media, New York Times, was saying, here's evidence that.
You said I want Justin Hunt to interview him or Torre. They're going to ask the hard questions. I wouldn't want Justin Hunt or Torre to do that interview. I would want someone more moderate. Personally, I like Elliott Wilson to do it.
That this is the case, that the opposite of what he's saying. Kendrick saying you use Ozempic and a machine to clean out your stomach. Who gives a fuck?
Those things seem very comparable. We could move on from that. Let me know what you think of the questions that people should be asking him.
Yeah.
That are the hard ones.
I just said a couple that I thought.
I don't think any of it is hard. I think, you know.
Okay,
how did you feel?
What are the questions you want to know?
Like us, how did you feel when you heard Meet the Grams?
Yeah.
How did you, you know, were you hoping that he wouldn't do Not Like Us at the Super Bowl? I didn't care.
Yeah,
Whatever the fuck.
right.
You know, did you watch?
But
the
you
Super Bowl
can
performance?
recognize that someone like Drake, from what we've seen from his character, wouldn't answer those questions and doesn't want to talk about them.
My thing is ask him anyways. If he goes to the interview and be like, yo, no comment, or I don't want to answer this, cool. But at least ask it. At least go on a platform where they're going to have the gall to ask it. That's just my main thing. But you know, Rule said Markman. I don't want to see, like, I would want someone more moderate. Rob Markman, like, we all took Kendrick's side in the beef, right? Heavily. I know, me personally, I was heavily on Kendrick's side. We all took Kendrick's side in the beef. I would want something more moderate. You know, I wouldn't want, like, even my guys, Ricky Dredd, What's the Dirt? I wouldn't even want to see them do a Drake interview. I would want someone who's, no one's truly moderate. Everyone has a little bias, but I would want someone more towards the center for a fair interview. This is why I say Elliott Wilson. Even though Elliott Wilson, he kind of, you know, he kind of was Kendrick biased too. We all was basically Kendrick biased, but Elliott Wilson has at least given very good Drake interviews in the past. Remember, Elliott Wilson was the one who asked Drake about Control. This is where we get this golden clip. Drake Control response. This is where we get this golden clip where he calls Kendrick's verse on Control forgettable. It's Elliott Wilson.
Up and elevated too much? Nah, I feel like that's it. It's like, you know, he's the dog that's extremely hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Skip ahead.
He's giving people like moments,
yeah.
You know, like that verse was.
Elliott Wilson is the reason that we have this response.
A moment to talk about. Are you listening to it now at this point in time? Okay. And then it was real.
So Drake answered the question, but he's dissing in a response. But that's because Elliott Wilson wasn't afraid to ask it. Now I know I'm Elliott Wilson glazing right here, but I would like to see, I guess I view him as more moderate compared to us, like on the Kendrick side, even though he's also on Kendrick's side, because he's given very good and very fair interviews to Drake in the past, right? Read some of these chats. Nadeska asked the real questions in the Kendrick interview. She better than Elliott. Oh, you talking about the one with Ebro? Yeah, Nadeska has good questions. Nadeska has always been really good. As a fan, watching interviews for Music Talk, I hate when people go too deep. Torre talked to Ghostface Killah about schizophrenia and diabetes for an hour. Really? Wow. Why was Jay and Jazz Prince quiet in his beef and more present versus Pusha T? That's a good question. Why was Jazz Prince, Jay Prince more quiet in this beef, but more present versus Pusha T? And they were also present in Drake's beef with Kanye West. They pretty much ended it, made them do a concert together and shake hands. It's another great question. That's a question you can get somebody in trouble, like depending on that answer, you can get someone caught up. It will never happen with Elliott. Drake despises him. He was more so talking about Elliott in the Bobby interview. Oh, okay. I didn't know they had beef.
Those things.
He probably doesn't want to talk about those things. He probably told Bobby, "Don't ask me about the battle."
Yeah.
Which is then why I understand this as like the first time he talked to Bobby, this notion of let's do something interesting with a cool person who's not in my normal lane. Like, okay, fine. And you had a little
it's quirky. Yeah, it's quirky.
Sexual tension-y conversation that a lot of people talked about. And you blew her show up. This time it's like you are clearly trying to avoid media that would ask you real questions. And
see, I guess I'm giving Drake more the benefit of the doubt. I want to see who else he does interviews with before I say that he's avoiding certain media. I just want to see who else he goes out there. Well, he's going to do another interview, right? He's got an album coming out. I just want to see who else before I say he's avoiding. Now, I know, he's also done the streamers, the XQC. Who did he go on? Was it Black Boy Max or was it Kai Cenat? He went on some streamers. But I want to see who else he does the interviews with. Now, if Drake goes through this whole thing and the closest that he gets to a hip hop interview is with Zane Lowe, then yeah, I'm right on board with you. I just got here. Torre is the ultimate Drake hater. What did I miss? Torre is actually, he's been kind of fair so far. He's been kind of fair. I actually didn't know Torre's take on Drake because this is my first time seeing one of Rap Latte's videos, I think. But he's been fair, I think. I feel like Kendrick kind of sidesteps as well, although to a much lesser extent than Drake. Yeah, Kendrick definitely sidestepped in his interviews. But what makes it seem like Kendrick didn't sidestep is he allowed himself to be asked about the diss records. Even though it was a very softball ask, they still brought it up. So it seems much less like he's ducking the questions. And then Kendrick goes to a hip hop platform with two respected people in hip hop. So it doesn't seem as much of a sidestep. Whereas with Drake, to some people, it looks like he's just avoiding hip hop media. In my recollection, didn't Kendrick give some vague notion of pride in your city and the culture when the Deska asks what not like us means? Yeah, Kendrick says a lot of, whenever he's been asked about not like us, and I don't remember that whole interview. I did a video on it though. It's simple. We all know what not like us is about. It's about Drake, you a bitch, and Drake is a bitch. Yeah, all that. But Kendrick will be like, oh yeah, not like us. You know, it's about energy, you know, and centering your chakra, you know, chamomile tea. And, you know, I've been to therapy. Bro, we know you've been to therapy. We heard your last album, bro. Tell us what not like us is about. But anyway.
See, like hard, I think we are differentiating on hard because of our different sides of the microphone in an interview context. But real questions, I think we would agree on. She's not asking him the real questions that hip hop wants because she's not part of hip hop culture. And
well, SZA was a part of hip hop culture and she still didn't ask Kendrick the questions that we wanted to hear, mind you.
Avoiding answering those sort of questions, which is kind of lame.
It's both these guys, man. But Kendrick, what saves Kendrick is he went with the Ebro. Now, even though those questions were kind of softball, he still did it. He still went on that platform.
I think that's on brand. Yeah, I think it's on brand.
It's not only on brand, it's with the general trends in media and in politics to not, and not just in hip hop, but in Hollywood and TV, to not.
Nobody wants to talk to anybody against them or has to make you see yourself. Any type of questions that you don't want to ask, don't want to answer. People don't want to do that.
That's true.
I feel like it's more commendable even for him, which I don't put it past him in the way that he's trying to promote himself, where he might hit you up and be like, "Yo,
really?
Fucking interview," because that would get him more attention than anything else.
Really? Drake and Torre? Someone said the best possibility is, what'd you say, Rory and Mal or Ricky Dredd? Well, Ricky Dredd, I mean, based on what I know about him, he's a huge, you know, figure in Toronto, but I don't know, I guess there's a love-hate relationship there with him and OVO, from what I see him posting his timeline, so we'll see. The difference is Kendrick always been elusive, even at his peak, so it's not demanded of him. Drake, on the other hand, is the polar opposite. Yeah, also that's true. Yeah, Kendrick, he's always kind of like not in media, not talking to people. Whereas with Drake, he's more so in the spotlight. So now it seems like he doesn't want to be in the spotlight because it seems like he's ducking the questions. Can he be interviewed by SZA? It's like being interviewed by a sister, right? Like, I didn't like that interview at all, man. Can it not be Tory's opinion that Drake is a shithead? That's why he dislikes him. Just because someone is hating doesn't mean they don't have valid reasons to hate. Yeah. Kendrick stands on his business about keeping stuff in the music. Yeah. I understand that viewpoint. Yeah. Kendrick, he could easily say, yo, I'm not answering nothing about not like us. I said what I said on the song. Re-listen to the song if you want my opinion.
If I saw you and that nigga Drake side by side on my YouTube scroll, how fast I would click on that mother. Like, anybody who is a Drake hater, if you saw them together and they had the conversation, it's going to completely.
Nah, if I saw Drake and Torre doing an interview, I would just be confused. I wouldn't rush to click it. I would rush to click if I saw Drake and Charlemagne interview. I would rush if I saw Drake on Drink Champs. And I would rush if I saw, like, what else? What's another great interview he could do? If I saw Drake and Elliott Wilson, I would watch that too. But if I saw Drake and Torre, I would be confused.
Completely boost his whole perception within his fan base. The people who don't like Drake are not gonna like Drake, period.
If you were management or PR or whatever, and you could say Drake is skilled enough in conversation context to have Torre saying, basically, you suck at rapping, basically. What? And you lost the battle, blah, 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 right? And he's able to parry that.
Oh yeah, Drake and Joe Budden. Yeah, that's my 3. I would immediately click if I saw Drake on Drink Champs interview. If I see that thumbnail, bro, I'm there immediately. It don't matter what I'm doing. Drake and Charlemagne, I'll click that immediately. And yeah, good. Yeah, that's a good recommendation, Rabbit. Drake on Joe Budden. If I saw Drake and Torre, I don't know. I don't know if I would click that. I think I'll respond just like I did with the Bobby Altoff interview. When I saw Drake and Bobby Altoff, I was kind of like, okay. And I never watched it. I would wait for clips from Drake and Torre. But I also don't really know Torre's interview style. So I don't really know too much about the guy. I just know he was on BET or MSNBC. I looked at his Wikipedia. Apparently he wasn't on BET, but I remember him being on BET. So
his own 2 feet and not be flustered and not look crazy as I'm saying, so, what do you think about Meet the Grams? And he's giving like thoughtful, chill answers where you're like, oh, he's actually a nice guy. Then that would work, but I don't think that any of them think that that's what would happen in a situation with someone like me or Elliot or Sway or anybody who's going to do a real hip hop.
Sway is super nice though, but Sway's a great interviewer. One of hip hop media's finest, legend. But he's just a little too nice. You know what I mean? I want someone who's a little rough around the edges.
You gonna hit him with the R. Kelly question? You think it's gonna be an R. Kelly moment?
Ebro. I mean, like that. See, like
Ebro, I don't trust Ebro to do that interview just based on the Ebro interview with Kendrick. I don't want no softball interview, man.
That wasn't a hard question to me because it was like an obvious question, and it was so open that it was, it wasn't like you said this, you were trying.
Oh, he did an R. Kelly interview. Okay.
How do you feel?
Someone said Angie Martinez. Again, Angie Martinez, great interviewer, hip hop legend, just too nice for this situation, right? I don't want no nice interview, right? Sway, super nice, legend. Too nice for this type of interview. Maybe next Drake album, but coming fresh off the beef, nah. We need we need someone that's a little rough around the edges.
You like teenage girls? Do you have a feeling for teenage girls? That is an easy question. That's a softball.
Crazy
I
word.
think that is the easiest question in the world. Just be like, no. How could you ask me that?
What did R. Kelly say? Oh yeah, what do you mean teenagers? Yo, I did see that. Torre is like, yo, do you like teenage girls? R. Kelly pauses and he's like, well, what do you mean by teenage?
Why?
Wrong answer.
Why?
Wrong answer.
Real talk, that was meant as a softball. And I was going to ramp up to a second question that was a little harder, and then a third question that was harder.
Right.
And he flopped the softball.
Yeah.
So then there was no need to go through the rest of the progression. I mean,
classic
I don't
moment.
look at that as a hard question because it's so.
So I'm saying you feel like he thinks that, or his team might.
Sway is super chill.
He fumbled into a whole situation like that. If he interviewed someone like you,
I think he would not that bad.
I love Sway's platform and I feel Sway's platform is best for like up and coming artists, up and coming rappers too. Cause Sway gonna get on there and make you rap. And it ain't gonna just be spit a quick freestyle. No, you're gonna do the 5 fingers of death. You're going to rap over a live DJ who's going to throw you 5 different beats. And you're going to have to change your flow up. You got to have enough raps to rap for that long, 5 beats. You basically got to do 5 separate freestyles in one. Like Sway is going to put you out there. But, you know, I think that's essential to hip hop. Now, people disagree and be like, yo, freestyling, that's old school. This is the new school. I disagree with that. Hip hop has evolved past freestyling. I disagree with that. Y'all remember Lil Uzi Vert went on Hot 97 with Ebro and freestyled. Now Uzi, he made Ebro change the beat. Ebro played like some DJ Premier. Uzi was like, I'm not rapping over that old shit. You got to put a different beat on. Ebro tried to play hardball. Oh, if you don't put, you gonna rap over this. Uzi was like, I bet I don't. But he still freestyle, right? Super essential. Angie interview back in the day also got Drake to shoot at Kendrick. Angie is great at getting people comfortable. Now, I agree with that. And that was when, wait, what did Drake say in that interview with Angie when he shot at Kendrick? I don't remember that one. I remember one from Big Boy in LA where he shot at Kendrick.
Not that.
Well,
bad.
I'm saying,
but like, I don't believe that they would think that he would look good in a conversation with me. And not that I would try to make him look bad. I just be like, you know, how'd you feel about Meet the Grams?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I didn't listen to that shit. And I'd be like, bullshit, I know you heard it. And now what do you do? When the, you know, now what do you, can you really play it off?
Then he gonna be like, oh, I really didn't hear it. I'll be like, all right, let's play a little bit. Yo, you didn't hear it? Yo, play that last verse from Meet the Grams. Yeah.
You know.
All right, yeah, so, okay, now that you've heard it, what do you think about it? Look at Angie's last interview with Drake. Okay, yeah. No, Angie's a great interviewer. She's a legend, right? Angie Martinez, Drake. Let me see what it looks like, because I might have seen it already. We talking about this one? Yeah, she's a legend, man. But I guess I don't want a nice interviewer, right? I want someone that's just gonna drill into it. Torre owned up to, yeah, I don't know. I'm not talking about no Torre cases. I'm not into that. Listening to BET Basements, then hear albums later that year, he always had bars in them. Yeah, those BET Basement freestyles. There was a time in hip hop, man, if you were doing an interview, you had to freestyle at some point during that interview. I guess that's, you know, you had to show and prove, man.
Like, stop it.
I like that.
You're a hip hop fan. You didn't like Not Like Us? Really? Like, come on. Like, that's a hard question. You might be like,
let me hear what he said. I didn't hear that. Think about Not Like Us.
You're a hip hop fan. You didn't like Not Like Us?
Well, Drake said he liked Not Like Us at the end of the Fake Heart Part 6. He said, I like the West Coast one. I really would have been rocking with it if he wasn't lying. But he basically said, yo, that was a hot record.
Really? Like, come on. Like, that's a hard question. You might be like, no, it's not.
He said it on Hard Part 6.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yo, that last joint, the West Coast joint was hot.
Yeah.
But you know,
but you was lying.
You lied in it, so we can't take that. But he said that he thought that joint is a bop in Hard Part 6.
Can you get him to say on the record is hot? I mean, like,
do y'all think, here's a question for the chat. Do y'all think Drake could get DJ Mustard on his album? Or is that relationship severed? Do y'all think Drake could recruit DJ Mustard for his album, for a single? Because I want to say they worked together before. Who Do You Love? YG. Who produced this? I'm pretty sure Mustard. Yeah, so Drake has rapped over DJ Mustard before. It was on YG's album. It was long before, it was like 11 years before Kendrick ever rapped over a Mustard beat. Do y'all think Drake could have Mustard on his album? Or is that's foregone? Angie interview was the one where he first addressed Control. Okay, then Elliot Wilson Crown came after. Okay, yeah. I know there was a Big Boy in the morning interview too, but I just got to rewatch that Angie Martinez interview. No, unless Kendrick green lights it. Yeah, I think Mustard Yeah, he DJ'd at the pop out. He was basically hosting the pop out. Yeah, hard no. Yeah, Mustard chose a side. Yeah. After What Did I Miss? I said that ship has sailed. Yeah. Yeah. This is a good song though. The Who Do You Love? YG and Drake with Mustard on the beat. Just a random thought.
He already did.
No, I mean he said on the record, like right after,
But you want him to say it again? That like, I think it's recognizable, but he can't say that. He can't say that the shit's hot when he's got a whole lawsuit. People just saying that it's manufactured success. So how are you gonna say that? Oh, this shit was hot, but it's.
You think Mustard would do it, but you don't think Drake would do it? I don't think Mustard would do it. I think he would lose a lot of goodwill on the West Coast if he did that. Unless, like Zero said, unless Kendrick, green lights it, yeah. I think Drake would do it just to be petty if he could. This dude Torre fantasizing about a gotcha. No, I'll be fantasizing about gotchas sometimes too, though. Yeah, man.
That goes against the lawsuit.
I mean, you could think the record is hot and also recognize that I think, the theory
that
we're
can be
really
used
working
in
with
the court of law. That could be used.
The theory that we're really working with is less that UMG pushed it up, but he's saying, why didn't you stop the record the way you stopped the momentum of
the others?
Pusha T's record.
Yeah.
You did that for me. You suppressed Pusha T's movement when that.
Well, I also think I would want to know the truth behind that. Did UMG actually really step on Pusha T's joint? Like, those are two different types of records. The Story of Adidon and Not Like Us. The Story of Adidon was not an original track. That was the Story of OJ beat. It's a Jay-Z beat. So really, it's like a mixtape cut. And that was never going to be a hit record, right? I don't think UMG had to step on that. It just depends. Some people say that UMG stepped on that record for Drake. I would just like to know how. Because that record still went crazy. It was never going to be #1 on Billboard. It's not even Pusha T's beat. Not Like Us is a whole different monster. Original beat, you know what I mean? Hook, chorus, bridge, right? Euphoria is the one that has. No. Not Like Us has a bridge. Are You My Friends? Are we like reprise and all that? That's actually a record. Mustard got to piece it up with Gordo. Yeah, both those teams got to piece it up. Someone's going to get hurt.
That was damaging to me, but you didn't do it here. What the fuck? That's what he's really saying.
Yeah.
Not
in the document, it has all those things because he says, why did you have these other? That's why Screwface has document 79 or NFR podcast is named, is because he's saying, why did all these other outlets talk about this? Was there payola? Everyone's talking about it. This was amplified by you, and that's wrong because that pushes me down. That's the actual argument. You amplified this, and that pushes me down. Therefore, I should be able to sue you guys. I should not be in your record deal.
That's so dumb. Shout out Rudy RA in the chat. What up? Fun theory. I think Jay-Z sent the hit because he has to approve the use of Adidon. Well, Jay-Z doesn't. You're right. In that Jay-Z has to at some point allow Story of Adidon to happen, right? I don't think he has to approve it. Because in the mixtape era, if you wanted to rap over somebody else's beat, you didn't have to get it approved. But they could take it down. To your point, though, they could take your song down if they just decided they wanted to be an asshole about it. So, yeah, I think Jay-Z definitely approved. Even if he didn't go in and put a stamp on it, he allowed it to happen for sure. Exodus 23:1 not on streaming either because of Big's mom. Really? Oh yeah, because it's got that Biggie sample. Yeah, you're right. I didn't realize that wasn't on streaming. Remember Remy Ma dissed Nicki on the Ether beat, and UMG took it down because they owned the beat. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but I mean that makes sense. You can't just. Which is weird because I use the Ether beat in some of my videos, like when I'm ranting, and they never take mine down. So that seems like a hit, actually. Yeah, that seems like a hit. Because I'm not the only content creator who does that. There's content creators when we go on a rant or we about to go in on a topic, we play the ether beat. You know, it's just a thing. And we never get it taken down by UMG. Oh, Story of Adidon was removed from streaming? Okay. Well, according to Rick, the Sheether was also removed from streaming. But again, these are not their beats. These are not original beats. See, if this was a Pusha T song where it was an original beat, but then UMG just still took it off streaming, I would understand the aspect of collusion. Like, oh, they're colluding with Drake to get this taken down. But these are people rapping over industry beats and putting it on streaming, like where they're getting paid off of it. I mean, that's normal, right? Or maybe I'm not looking too deeply. Maybe I'm not looking deep enough, right? Shout out to Lansky in the chat. Is that still the case now? If Story to Adidon came out today, wouldn't it be fine since Push isn't selling the record? Well, Courtney said that it was removed from streaming. So having it on streaming is effectively selling the record, right? Because you're making money off those streams. I would just need to see the proof that it was taken down because of Aubrey. Okay, Greg said it was never on streaming. Y'all got to get y'all story right. I only listen to the Story of Adidon on YouTube. I would be surprised. That's why I'm confused. I would be surprised if it was ever on streaming because it's not Pusha T's beat. That's like you using somebody else's beat and you put it on your album. You don't do that. You can't do that. Yeah, they're going to take action against you. So I wouldn't call that, based on the little knowledge that I have of that, I wouldn't call that UMG colluding with Drake. That's just standard industry practice.
Because he wants to get out of that deal. That's his whole aspect.
It was never on streaming, yeah.
The only way they could let him out is if he won that lawsuit, and that ain't I don't see that happening.
We ain't not gonna win a lawsuit.
But then again, you ain't got a good track record this year with who's winning what.
Wait, what are you referring to?
We're not gonna get into it. But
you're referring to Diddy?
I'm old school. I got everything downloaded on my iTunes desktop. Yeah, I used to use iTunes. I had the most perfectly organized iTunes, maybe of all time. If not number one, I was in the top 100. Then one day I opened iTunes and everything was gone. That's when I started using streaming services. That hurt. I had everything organized. Every song had the producers. You know, you could search by producer and see. I had everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, real talk. We were real. I mean, you know, whatever.
Let's move on. Anyways.
Is there another part of this interview that we need to show them?
I feel like we talked about it.
Show another clip.
Like, I don't want to go into the ab thing of him talking about abs. I liked our little discussion. If you would have interviewed him, it's like Drake is scared to get interviewed by Touré. That's why we wish.
Man, my iTunes was perfect. I had artwork for it. Nothing did not have a cover. Everything had an artwork cover. I even had alternate artwork covers. Oh my God. Man, that was rough. Yeah, that's years of work gone. Literally years of work. Collecting the music, finding the music. After that, Spotify, they was sending out invites. It was like a Europe thing only. I was just like, yo, somebody send me an invite because I'm trying not to crash out on my MacBook. I still got my iPod with stuff I know will never get to streaming. Well, thankfully, I use YouTube Music. So YouTube Music has pretty much everything. It's got all the mixtape stuff. Like even stuff that didn't make albums. Like if you listen to Section 80 by Kendrick Lamar on streaming, on Spotify, Tidal, they don't have The Spiteful Chant. The song The Spiteful Chant because it's got an uncleared sample. All that's on YouTube though. YouTube Music is like the best in terms of rap because you get the mixtape stuff. So look up the Remy situation. She discussed it. UMG literally stepped in. Well, I don't really be believing what Remy Ma has to say. So someone else would have to confirm it outside of her.
To title this, Drake's scared to get a real interview. But
I mean, you know, look, I can understand the general impulse that exists throughout the world of media and entertainment of saying, don't expose yourself to 60 minutes. Let's say that as like
Hmm.
a symbol of like the hard hitting interview where they're going to ask you questions you don't want to answer and make you answer them. And like, everybody's like, why sit for that?
Yeah.
And
you don't need to nowadays. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, you
too,
don't
though.
have
Like,
to.
You don't need to. The thing is, the same way someone does the Jubilee thing, and you have all the conservatives, you have like a conservative guy talking.
Jubilee. Y'all watch Jubilee? I'll be watching some of their stuff. Some of the topics are just outrageous, but I like the political stuff. Jubilee. Oh, they came out with a new one today.
This is not the United.
Candace Owens versus 20 feminists.
This is not the
That was a
United
good
States
one.
of Patrick Butt.
My girl, she actually likes Candace Owens. She's like listening to her. I know that's gonna make people hate me even more. Your girlfriend listen to Candace Owens? Y'all some Republicans. We're not Republicans. Even if we were, it'll be okay. Like this Chink Uyghur, this is a good one. Amanda Seals, I don't really watch anything with her in it. She's like irritating to me. Oh, this is a black. Yeah, I don't know. Some of their topics be a little wild. Yeah, Dat Piff was a huge loss. We lost recipes. And I had everything from Dat Piff, man. Everything, man. I don't even want to think about what happened to my iTunes because it's something I've never really gotten over. Almost lost my iTunes when Apple Music came. I tried the trial, then my library disappeared. Ended the trial immediately. At least you got yours back. If you can save all those files, if you still have those original files, save them to like a hard drive. Go to Best Buy, get you a external hard drive. Drop the $40. Save all that music, man. I wish I could have did that for my iTunes.
And all these liberal guy, the conservative people are not looking at that video and saying, "Oh, damn, those liberals got him." They're agreeing with that guy no matter what. And that's why I'm saying if Drake's team was smart and he was composed, him talking to you is the best thing that he can do for his career because it's just going to strengthen his fan base and maybe sway the moderate people in between, which I don't know how you are moderate in this. I'm on the
no one's really moderate.
Drake's over their side.
I'm not sure that an interview after
Top 5 Troy versus 20 Baby King fans. Do he even got 20 real fans? Me versus 20 Baby King fans, but you gotta be an actual Baby King fan. You can't just be a Kendrick fan or a PG Lang fan. You gotta be a Baby King diehard. Yeah, Amanda is annoying as she's cringy. Amanda is good in 20v1 cesspool environment. She found her calling. I would never watch something like that. That's a headache waiting to happen.
At this point, after all this time that Drake has been this huge popular figure, that an interview...
To me, listening to Amanda Seals, it's kind of like listening to that song We Cry Together off Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, where Kendrick and the girl is just arguing. That's like listening to Amanda Seals. That's like a similar feeling. Why do I just want to hear like a chick just like argue and complain? I don't even want to hear that in real life. Why am I going to do this as a form of recreation or entertainment? I would never listen. I would never watch something like that with Amanda Seals in it.
You can sway people who are, as you're saying, moderate or on the fence about Drake. They're not anti-Drake and they're...
Can someone explain why Amanda Seals isn't liked? I just know people don't like her, but I'm out the loop. I just know her as a woman on Insecure. For me, she's really like her voice. Like I'd be away from people like that in real life. Like just loud. Number one, loud people. I don't be around people like that. I just don't. So she's loud, super disagreeable, and I'm pretty sure she like accused someone. Who was that doctor from the NFL? Amanda Seals. Doctor. I want to make sure I get this right. That's why I'm looking it up. In 2019, Amanda Seals accused Myron Rolle. I'm pretty sure Myron Rolle was a defensive back for the Ravens. Or maybe that was Antrell Rolle. Anyway, Amanda Seals accused Myron Rolle, he's an NFL player and he's a neurosurgeon, of sexually inappropriate and predatory behavior. But I guess it was proven, or he says that never happened. So a lot of people don't like her because of this. Me, I didn't like her before this. She's just someone that I would avoid in real life. Bro, that's literally what Candace does. Candace Owens, she's what do I think about Candace Owens? I like her more than Amanda Seales. Yeah, Ricochet. She put a false charge on someone and never apologized, right?
Like, I think new music, a new video can do that. You know, if he was in a movie and they're like, wow, he was really cool.
The
in that
slaps
movie.
at this point, because we all know him, you got to have a slap, right? But the slaps, there's a perception. I don't even like this idea. Like, people think that there's some time in music industry where the music is the only thing that mattered. I don't know when that was, bro. The music industry started
That's
with
always been multiple things.
shows first. And then it turned into this idea of music radio, music TV.
Who's seen this whole video? Does it get better?
Right? So
or have we already kind of seen the bulk of it? Yeah, everyone's saying she lied on some guy. Yeah, that's why a lot of people don't like her. I didn't like her before that though, but it's okay. I'm sure she doesn't like me either. It's true.
Aesthetic, the cover always mattered. The aesthetics always mattered, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say about that, now persona, lifestyle, all the things that come with an aesthetic matter. So when you think of Drake and you're listening to Drake, you're thinking about who he is and what he's been through and where he's at in life. That's why people judge him saying what he's talking about. So you're thinking about these things. So what I'm trying to say is some people who may have been like, yeah, I don't know about Drake. Drake's not as cool, or I'm in the middle of this thing. If he faces you.
I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I like Amanda. I definitely get why people don't like her though. That 21 content, some of the greatest content I've seen her in. Yeah, I can't bring myself to watch that. That's a headache waiting to happen. But salute to her. She found her calling. 3 million views on it.
On the other side of that mic, and you ask him those questions, and he doesn't come off looking like a full-on dickhead or lame.
I don't think I could do that. I think that I don't think I
couldn't do the interview.
No, I don't think that I have.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Candace Owens. I remember on Joe Rogan a while back, Joe Rogan destroyed Candace Owens on climate change and ended up admitting she never researched it. And she was talking, yeah, she did get destroyed on climate change for sure. Yeah, she's got some terrible takes and she's got some good takes, just like me. I guess I'm not so hard on people like that because I have terrible takes, but then I have amazing takes too. I got some terrible takes, but then my takes that be on point, and they be years ahead, like almost prophetic. I'll be cooking.
Power culturally
at times.
What you're saying that, oh, Drake did well in the Torre interview. Now I like him. Maybe Oprah could do that because of the vaunted
top 5 Troy versus 20 Lil Yachty fans. Yeah, I'm cooking them immediately.
Has in American culture.
No,
like, I know she's not hip hop.
Yeah,
but she could ask.
What are Candace's good takes? Ah, dang, put me on the spot. I would have to re-listen to her Theo Von interview. I was on my way back to SoCal from Yosemite, so we were driving through Sacramento, and obviously I needed something to fill time, so I put on her interview with Theo Von, and she had some. It was enjoyable. It wasn't like listening to Amanda Seales, who is like just constantly in debate mode. It was chill. But yeah, you put me on the spot. I'll have to actually think about what her good takes are. But she's got some takes that I wasn't mad at. Her take on T.I. She got a great take on T.I. Look that up. Rogan had a great episode with him and RZA. Him and Drake will be interesting. I'll watch a lot of Joe Rogan's interviews. I don't want to see Drake on there. Joe Rogan had a good interview with Freddie Gibbs. It's random. Freddie Gibbs was on there. Can I get one good Candace Owens point? Let me think. I gotta think about that. She has a great research team. She's very eloquent, making gullible people believe whatever she says. Yeah. Good talkers can do that. Attractive people and good talkers. Yeah, right-wing troll. Yeah, that's what they're going to say. Yeah, I'm going to check back on those good takes. Yeah, you got to give me a second. I got to think about that. T.I., she got a good take on T.I., though.
You would have a real question. She's the best interviewer there is. She could have a real...
She'd be Joe Button for real.
See, Joe...
He said that he banned Drake from his show.
What I mean, I love him for that, but I bet if Drake said I want to come, he would lift the ban. Now he's not a fool.
What are these guys talking
look,
about? See now,
Joe
now I'm distracted because I'm actually trying to think like why did I say she has good takes? I think Candace Owens had like a take on family or something like that or motherhood. But I would have to let me get back to y'all on that.
Joe is similar to me in that you're talking to hip hop, and that's not gonna. You're talking mainly to haters. That's not going to expand your audience, if that's a possibility from this interview.
Sure.
If you talk to Oprah, it could. I appreciate what you're saying about the importance of persona.
I think the idea that Drake, like he's a superstar, how much more can he expand his audience? I think Drake's thing is just remaining relevant, maintaining his audience. But like to be like, yo, I'm gonna go on Oprah to expand my audience to the 50-year-old woman demographic. I don't know if Drake is at the point where he needs to focus on expanding his audience. I don't know about that, man.
This is not a new person. This is a person who most of us have a baked-in opinion of because he's been so famous for so long. If you are new and you do a hot interview, then that breaks everybody's attention to you.
Yeah,
he is old at this point. He is not.
He is superstar.
I disagree with that.
Than he is to the beginning.
Nah, I would have to agree with
that nowadays. You can change your persona with one clip nowadays.
You can change your persona. Would that be a continued change? Like, are you talking about like Drake sits for an interview with his fiance? That one interview would change our perception of him. Oh, what is this?
That'll be a good interview too.
New chapter of Drake, like now that he's getting married to whoever it may be. That would change, but like it's got to be a little bit more than Drake does a funny or a probing interview with.
I think Drake's main thing is he's trying to connect with the younger audience. That's why he's got like these whack ass Lil Yachty raps. I don't know who is putting out there that Lil Yachty has such a hold on the youth. I don't know anybody who listens to Lil Yachty. I got little cousins, like, and all that. I don't know anyone outside of the internet who listens to him. People pretend like Lil Yachty got this hold on the youth. I don't know where that perception came from. But anyway, it seems like that's what Drake's trying to do. That's why he's doing like these more like TikTok style interviews with Bobby Altoff. He's trying to connect with the youth and stay relevant. This is why he's painting his nails. He's putting little barrettes in his hair. He's trying to, appeal to the youth. Yeah, with the streamers. Yeah, he was just with Aiden Ross to expand his audience. I think that's less so trying to expand his audience. Yeah, he is trying to expand his audience, but I think it's more geared to the youth. I think that's a better way to say it. I don't think he needs to be like, yo, I'm going to do a song with Bad Bunny so I can get the non-Spanish speaking crowd, or I need to go on Oprah to get the 60-year-old housewife crowd. I think he's trying to stay relevant to the youth because the youth already know who Drake is, but he's just trying to appeal to them. Yachty's writing for a lot of people, apparently. He's got a great team. I don't know who listens to Lil Yachty rap and be like, yo, I need to have him write on my album. Like, yeah. I know a guy who loves Lil Yachty. The only time I hear Lil Yachty talked about is on the internet, me personally. A lot of people listen to Lil Boat because he writes for a bunch of people somehow. I don't even know if I believe that. Lil Yachty's not doing like huge numbers on his albums. He's trying to keep the same age range of fans. More than expand necessarily. Yeah, I think he's trying to stay relevant within that 18 to 24 crowd.
With someone like me,
we only got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes, 3 minutes, really.
In hip hop, like I'm saying,
I don't even want it. I was just hypothetical.
No, I know.
Being hypothetical. I don't care.
I think the core of the Drake recovery, if we can agree that we're still there, has got to be around music and rhythmic music, dance music that will make you dance because dancing is involuntary. That is the core of it. Now, also, here's a cool interview. So you remember
your views are anecdotal, Yachty style, and alliances resonate with the younger gen. You talking about everything except his music. I'm talking about his music. You talking about style and alliances. I'm talking about music.
Oh, Drake's also a cool guy, which is partly what they're trying to accomplish here. Maybe he does call her daddy, and now he's reaching out to people. Call her daddy would be a great idea for him.
Yeah,
actually.
I agree.
That's the same shit as Baleala talk to me, but whatever.
Well, Call Her Daddy is much bigger.
Yeah.
It's much bigger, but it's the same. It's the same thing. Like Drake's bringing the
it is the same thing, but I think Drake would fit well. Like he would get along. They have good chemistry, I would say, with that podcast. I hate those types of rap because they never grow up. Did you like Let's Start Here by Yachty? I think I reviewed that on my channel. No, didn't like it. Didn't like it. Yachty's writing equals George Floyd bars. He's had way worse bars than that too. As someone who teaches at university, Yachty is unfortunately, so he's what you're saying. He's popular with the fraternity guys in the South. The fraternity guys in the South, they don't really have an alliance with rap, really. Like they'll still listen to Tyga. You know, they'll be like, "Yo, bro, put that Tyga on." Put on that, Tyga. You know what I mean? So they're not really someone who I'm taking cues from in hip hop. And I've spent a lot of time around fraternity guys.
Bobby is doing a character, and she's trying to do her thing while you do your thing. So there's not really any interview happening. It's a
posturing
conversation, like performance.
Yeah, it was stupid.
I didn't watch Alex will ask him real questions, right? As she could humanize him. See, she could humanize him and make him look cool or cute or whatever, in the way that you're saying. Like, maybe, so I'm like, Oprah, maybe Alex, if she's like on her A game with Call Her Daddy, like maybe.
But yeah, that's not the type of interview I'm trying to see from Drake. I want to see some hip hop stuff.
But it's not all that. The magic is not in hip hop interviews. That's where he's like that's where he's going to try to win over people who don't like him.
Right.
And I don't know that he even really wants to do that.
I don't know why you think like the internet doesn't exist like that. But we could wrap it up in this space. But I'm saying like who you're interviewing is just an aesthetic visual thing because he's still Drake. So you having someone that's the antithesis of you is going to get more views than somebody.
Well, he's Drake, so yeah, you're gonna get more views regardless. He's big enough to where that doesn't even matter.
Like you're trying to appeal in that world, like. This Bobby shit ain't really go crazy. Like it's not going crazy.
Did it?
It's
what are they
Drake
at?
What views are they at?
Views on that one?
Probably like 900,000 about.
He said 9. Just say 1 million, bro. What the heck?
A day.
They're at 1.8. So they're at 2 million in 3 days. That went crazy, bro. I don't know by what metric. 1.8 million views, period. Whatever video it is, you went crazy. 2 million in 3 days. That's extra crazy.
Good day for her.
It's a great day, and that's great views. But I'm saying, like, you know what type of views Drake and Kendrick sit down, and you know what type of views that happens. Yeah, that's 14 million in a day.
It does.
I think an interview from an actual hip hop journalist is something that Drake sees as beneath him. I think he just doesn't mess with a lot of hip hop journalists. And like I said earlier in this live stream, I don't think this is something that's new. He's rarely sat down with hip hop platforms after the point when he didn't have to. Most of Drake's hip hop, like solely hip hop platform interviews, are from like 10 plus years ago. Even the Angie Martinez interview that we was talking about, that was like early in his career when he was like 3-4 years in. I think when Drake got to the point where he didn't have to do that anymore, he stopped doing it because he didn't enjoy it. So I don't think it's even something that's new. He has like the select hip hop people that he'll interview with.
Strike me as a little crazy that Drake would expect us to be able to receive a new album without having like discussed with us, like, well, how do you feel about what has happened?
Well, we're going to listen. I mean, we're going to listen anyway because it's Drake. Shout out Rap Cave in the chat. Why would you, if you were Drake and they kicked your back in? Yeah, I think if there were a hip hop platform journalist, like you guys are saying in the chat, who I guess was a little more fair towards Drake, or he felt they were more fair, I don't think he wouldn't do it. But then I also have to stop because he doesn't even interview with academics. That's the biggest hip hop platform. And he's a huge Drake fan. So you see that? That was a real time fact check. I fact checked myself. Like, then why doesn't he do an interview with academics?
It's like, it's been a
No.
wild year for you. Like, how? Because Kendrick has kind of said his part. He was directing the whole conversation. He was defining the way that whole thing would go.
In the music,
he
yeah.
talked a lot, right? Like
Yeah.
in the music. So I didn't need another.
He's gonna do it in the music.
Yeah, but Drake hasn't really done that. So I don't know.
He did What Did I Miss? I think in this album we're gonna very much hear it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I do think.
I think so too. I'm just confused by the music he's dropping and the rollout.
I don't know, man. I feel like this is just, we were, hypothetical about the interview, but this guy's just further digging his way into one exact lane.
Ooh, shout out Rap Latte. Shout out to the dude from the Young Turks. I'm pretty sure this is the dude from the Young Turks. And shout out Torre from BET. I'm pretty sure, Torre, you did BET at some point. I remember seeing you on BET, but your Wikipedia does not mention BET. That was a good video. Good conversation to have. I think we had some even better conversations in the chat. There are many reputable journalists that were fair, and he still takes shots at them like Rob Markman. I can't really comment on if Rob Markman was fair. I like Rob Markman's work, though. But I don't know that Rob Markman didn't take a side in the Kendrick and Drake beef. Or, I took a side. Everybody took a side, bro. You was either on that side or this side. I don't know if anyone could say they were truly unbiased, unless you just don't like hip-hop. If you like hip-hop, you was at least somewhat swaying to one side or the other. And the hip-hop platforms, and the hip-hop based platforms were almost all on Kendrick's side. Because we've always just loved Kendrick, and Drake has kind of just always done questionable things to us. Now, the casual fan, they love Drake more, but Drake has always kind of been looked at with a weird eye by us, the hip-hop platforms, not the casual joints. I'm talking about the Hot 97s, the Charlemagne Breakfast Clubs, majority of us, we've always just felt this way about Drake, even just from his music. He's kind of mixing, singing, and rapping. Then he starts rapping a little bit more, but then it's not that great. But then he gets better, but then he has ghostwriters. Like, there's always been like a kind of like an evil eye that we've given him. So I don't think there are many hip hop platforms that he's comfortable with, just based on how he was treated, which was fair. I've treated Drake very poorly. I don't expect him to shout me out or anything. But I'm saying I'm not the only one. It was dang near all of us, like majority of us, even if we can give a fair take on his music, which I think I give fair takes on Drake's music, we have treated him shady. This is just a fact over the years.
Facts.
We treated Drake shady over the years. So yeah, I don't think he's comfortable with us. And I think that's why when he got to the point where he did not have to come to Hot 97 or Power 105.1 to promote his albums anymore, when he didn't need to do it anymore, he stopped doing it. I think that's why. Because if I can feel that Drake has been treated oddly not oddly, but if he's been treated a certain type of way by us, I know he feels it. Rob Markman is a great journalist, but he lets his opinions been known since To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah, I don't really know Rob Markman's takes. Again, that's just one of my blind spots. I don't really know like a lot about hip hop media, like on YouTube, because I don't watch a lot of it unless it's like a documentary or an interview. But I know Rob Markman, he's pretty even keel. I know him from Genius. I thought he founded Genius because he's just always been associated with Rap Genius. So yeah, they say he's playing 4D chess. He's dropping trash to fight the label. That's when you know it's bad, man. Your fan base is like, oh no, the song suck because he's trying to stick the finger to the label. Yeah, so he went in the studio and spent 3 hours to make some trash. Come on, man. Now that music just ain't hitting. And the music been not hitting. But now people are looking at him with a little more scrutiny. They just not gonna accept it. They not willing to accept the trash music right now. Which I'm cool with. Yeah, I hope Iceman is great. When Drake dropped that Iceman, I hope it's a great album. I had enough of like these subpar albums. I would rather listen to a bad album than listen to a mid album. Cause at least with the mid album or with the bad album, I can get my takes off. I could really go in on it. Just mid music is just very hard to listen to, man. And it's hard to make content on. But I hope Iceman is great. Like I don't want more weak hip hop. Rob was pro Kendrick, but I don't think he was anti Drake. And that to me is a big difference between most media. Yeah, I would have to trust you guys I would have to trust what you guys are saying on that. Cause I just don't watch his content. The boy is really crowdsourcing his music. Never thought I'd see the day. He's not confident enough to drop. He wants to see what people like. I think it's kind of always been that way, but it's a little more shaky now, right? But a lot of artists do that. You know, they test the waters a little bit. I just don't understand why Drake still has Lil Yachty in the studio with him. You got one more hit until you're the #1 male solo artist, hitmaker of all time. You should be in there with real songwriters. Babyface, you know, real songwriters. Where's Majid Jordan at? Party Next Door. Call Quentin Miller up. See if he want a job. You should be in there with real songwriters, proven songwriters. But you in there with Lil Yachty bullshitting. I don't know. He's not taking it serious right now. You still got Lil Yachty in a studio with you at a time like this. A pivotal moment in your career. And you in the studio with Lil Yachty. Like he's not serious, bro. Rob was very fair. In fact, the OVO camp contacted him to favor Drake. Well, if the OVO camp had to contact him, was he really fair? Because if you were really being, I can tell y'all off the bat, I was not fair. People say, oh, Troy, he's unbiased. He gives unbiased takes, and I'll correct him. I'm not unbiased. My bias is heavily towards Kendrick. So if Rob Markman, y'all, and I'm not saying one way or another because again, I don't watch his videos. But if Rob Markman was, or if anybody was actually fair, would they need to be contacted to be like, yo, tell you something nice about Drake? I would say that Markman Kendrick interview promoting To Pimp a Butterfly is one of the best interviews Kendrick has ever given. T-Pab, Kendrick, Rob Markman. Let me see if I've seen this one. What you talking about, this one? Yeah, I don't remember that one. That was a long time ago too. Oh, MTV. Okay. Yeah, anyways. I hope Drake says if you're reading, I hope Drake drops if you're reading level of album. I just doubt it based off the past 6 years or so. Agreed. You know, I don't want anybody to drop trash music. I'm not rooting for Drake. As a Kendrick fan, I'm not rooting for Drake to drop bad music. We've got enough of that. Because Yachty has the sound of the younger generation. It ain't about the younger generation right now. His priorities is messed up. You at a pivotal point in your career. Contracts, lawsuits. You coming off the biggest L that pretty much anyone has ever seen in hip hop other than Ja Rule. And you are about to break the #1 most #1s. Break Michael Jackson's record. And you in the studio with Lil Yachty. People scrutinizing your videos, breaking everything down, really putting everything you do under a fine-tooth comb. And you in that mug with Lil Yachty. Yo, put your serious pants on. Put your serious pants on, serious hat. If you don't call Babyface or Ashanti or actual Alicia Keys a real songwriter, come on, bro. During the height of the global pandemic, one artist dropped a Tootsie Slide. Chasing TikTok and the other dropped N95. Well, those songs really didn't come out close to each other, to be fair. Tootsie Slide was like actually 2020. N95 was like on Mr. Morale, wasn't it? Yeah, Quentin Miller probably not cool with Drake. I bet he picked that phone up if he get that phone call in a real contract. Why is an honest take viewed as hate or being biased? Rob is hip hop. No, Rob. I like Rob Markman from what I've seen from him, but we all took a side, bro. In hip hop media, we are pretty much all biased towards Kendrick because he makes the type of music that we like, that we love. As hip hop journalists, we are all pretty much hip hop nerds. We studied the classic, all the classics, we studied them, and Kendrick is of that ilk. So just by nature, by our own nature, we are more biased towards someone like Kendrick than Drake. This is just a fact. So I know Drake feels that. I know Drake feels that. This is probably why he doesn't come on these platforms. He's all over the place. All it takes is a couple slaps. Yeah, I just don't know if Lil Yachty is the one to be in the studio with right now. The Young Genius with Cardi and Uzi, or Ken Carson, Lone, and Yeet. Add Travis into that. Yeah, everybody you named is more like they do numbers. Yachty don't do numbers. Like his solo, I don't understand where this Yachty thing comes from. Well, it comes from because he has a great team. And even Uzi is 31 years old. Like he's not even like younger gen no more. Drake is like Braun. Great legacy, but no longer in his prime. We'll see. I want to see it first. We're asking Drake to do what he can't do anymore. He did it with First Person Shooter. So we'll see. We'll see. This album is going to be telling. Very important album. Lil Yachty should not be in the studio. And yo, Kendrick, keep Baby Keem away from the studio too. Put Baby Keem in the studio, but keep him busy with his own music. We do not need Baby Keem on another Kendrick album. This is my opinion though. I know y'all love Baby Keem out there. Hot take, Babyface is way overrated as a songwriter. Was it crack, methamphetamines? You tripping. Yachty gross rights, that's his talent. I don't think that's his talent. I think that's what his label calls him to do. I don't think he's like super talented at ghostwriting. I don't like when I listen to Young Mike, because that's who he wrote for, right? Young Miami from the City Girls. When I listen to Young Miami's verses, well, number one, I'm like, it's just, we're not gonna even go in on Young Miami. We ain't gonna even do that. I was about to say something crazy, but I'm not like, yo, this is so well written. I'm not. Lil Boat gets extra credit for being with QC. I'm telling you, that's zero. This is what I'm trying to say without saying it. Lil Boat has a great team. QC. They put him in position. Why don't you like Baby Keem? His music's just not good. I feel like also there was a time where we were starved for Kendrick music. Like 2020, 2021. And the only times we got Kendrick music during that time was with Baby Keem. And then there were subpar verses. I know y'all love Family Ties. You know, Amazing Brother. I didn't like it. Even back, I got a reaction video to Family Ties the day it came out. So it just seemed like when Kendrick, the rare times he would drop music, it was with Baby Keem, and then they were just not good verses. So I just developed a dislike for Baby Keem just off that. That's really where it comes from. He didn't even finish Iceman. He's testing the waters. Yeah, that album, Iceman, is not done. I don't even know if he knows what direction he wants to go on that album. Because if it was a real rollout, he would be rolling out the songs. He wouldn't be like still fishing like for his sound. That Iceman album is not, it's either, yeah, I don't think it's done. It's not solidified. Usually when artists roll out an album, the album's done. There's teasing you to singles. They might freestyle a verse off the album. I don't know what dude is doing right now. Yeah, Rudy need to exit the convo talking about Babyface. Nah, you good, Rudy. But you need to check his credits, man. You should react to Geek about his video. It's about why Baby Keem hasn't dropped yet. And it's only 8 minutes. I don't want to know anything about Baby Keem. I just want him to, Baby Keem is cool, bro. Make your music and all that. I just want him to stay away from Kendrick Lamar songs. Please. Please. Kendrick didn't drop in half a decade. Yeah. Did you like the new Earl album? Yeah, I like the Earl album. I didn't do a video on it because I'll be trying to do videos about topics that y'all want to hear. The topics y'all, and YouTube tells me, the topics y'all like the most are Kendrick and Drake, when I talk about one of the two. But I try, when I make a Kendrick or Drake video, I try not to make it about the beef. So when I make a Kendrick video, I'll be breaking down one of his songs or something like that. But when I make a Drake video, it'll be like about something that Drake is currently doing. But I try not to be redundant and just constantly putting them against each other. So yeah, I don't know how much y'all would want to, you know, see an Earl Sweatshirt album review. So that's why I didn't do it. But yeah, I like Earl's. I've listened to like all of Earl's albums, but I've only reacted to a couple of them. What's Kendrick's worst albums? His 2 albums this decade are his worst. Yeah, I agree. Kendrick's worst albums are Mr. Morale and GNX. But they're not bad. But those are his worst albums, yeah. Those are his albums like with no theme. Those albums stand out from the other ones because they don't really have a tight-knit theme. It's, you know, Mr. Morale is really just thrown together, I feel like. I know Dissect podcasts and y'all listen to these guys react to that album and break it down. That album is haphazardly thrown together. I can't wait until Kendrick Lamar does an interview and talks about it. Talks about the creation process. Because I'm pretty damn sure he's going to say something that confirms that this album was kind of just thrown together and put out there as his last album on TDE. And yeah, GNX has no theme at all. So all of his other albums are like stories, themes. It's very cohesive. So yeah, Kendrick's last 2 albums are his quote unquote worst, but they're still good. Bro told me Keem been writing for Kendrick since damn. Yeah, nah. I love Family Ties. We needed to have fun when that song was out. Yeah, I hate that song and I hate the video. And I hate Baby Keem's verse on it. And the Smoking on Your Top 5, I hated that verse too. Black Panther was 2018. He dropped features between them years. Yeah, it wasn't enough. Mr. Morale had a theme, but it was inconsistent. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kendrick's when he has albums with themes, they're not inconsistent. Mr. Morale is like a theme that's inconsistent. Like they kind of had a theme, but they just didn't. It's thrown together. I'm telling you, that album was either rushed or something happened with that because it's not like his other albums. Please do the PNP series. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna. PNP is probably next. I got like 2 Kendrick song breakdowns for sure in mind. PNP is one of them though. That was like my first favorite Kendrick song. Pussy and Patron. Yeah, GNX was amazing. I agree. GNX was amazing, but it's not better than Section 80. It's not better than Overly Dedicated. I might put GNX over Overly Dedicated, actually. Might. Yeah, GNX should have had a theme. I think it's fine that it didn't. I'm happy with GNX. I'm happy with it. I think we could have got some better features, but y'all already, y'all know my take on that. Mr. Morale have a bunch of songs that's one listen. Yeah. The Auntie's Diaries, the We Cry Together. It's got some songs that's multiple listens too, though. Rich Spirit, N95. But it's not an album that I revisit. Mr. Morale is like the one Kendrick album that I don't play front to back. It's got skips. All Kendrick other albums, you can press play and just let it ride. Mr. Morale is not like that. That's why I don't like that album. I don't own that album. I don't talk fondly about Mr. Morale, but that's just me. I'm a Section 80 type of guy. Good Kid, Mad City type of guy. The Pimp a Butterfly type of guy. It's definitely better than Section 80. Nah. Section 80 is I think it's because I have nostalgia attached to Section 80, right? Kendrick had a movement. It's his only album where he had a movement, the high power movement. So I feel differently about Section 80 than others personally. Wait till people find out Keem is Kendrick's alter ego. Ideas he can't release on his main, he gives to Keem. I've heard references and was shocked. Yeah, I mean, he should have gave them Playboy Cardi versus Takeem too, because he didn't need to do those. Mr. Morale should have had no feature, just feed his fans with introspective yet heartfelt verses. Yeah, the Kodak features, that lets me know that there was a theme on the album that they didn't finish. Because Kodak doesn't make sense on there. Now, I know people are you've watched all the breakdown videos of Mr. Morale, people reaching, people trying their best, but I know Kendrick's music, bruh. There is a theme right there that they did not get to finish. That's what I think. I'll revisit Auntie's Diaries, Mother I Sober, United in Grief, and The Heart Part 5. I don't think The Heart Part 5 is on Mr. Morale though, right? Heart Part 5 was the rollout. Yeah, my first favorite Kendrick song was Wanna Be Heard and Cut You Off. Yeah, Cut You Off. Yeah, actually, that might have been my first. No, it was PMP. It was PMP. Because PMP came before Cut You Off. And then PMP 1.5 was on that Overly Dedicated. Is it a hit? Is it a hot take to say that on a smaller scale, Dom Kennedy fell out the same way the Canadian is until Dom got saved by Hit Boy, I think you're trying to say. Nah. Yeah, that's a hot take, bro. I don't know what to make a video on it. Because I don't even know what you're trying to get at. Dom Kennedy still get burned out here. He just started rapping a little weird. But Dom Kennedy still get play out here. He did Mr. Morale on purpose. You should watch his little interview with A$AP Ferg. Kendrick got an interview with A$AP Ferg. Kendrick interview A$AP Ferg. That don't sound right. Yeah, I've never seen that. Kendrick Hold Up is one of my favorite songs. Yeah, that was another great song. ADHD too, great song. You like the Mr. Morale track? I don't even remember what that sounds like. Blow My High, another great song. R.I.P. Aaliyah. Yeah, so I'm a Section 80 type of guy. But yeah, y'all asked the question, what's Kendrick's worst albums? Yeah, his two recent ones. But GNX is great. I like GNX. But yeah, it does rank towards the bottom though. So yeah, anyways. That was a Friday live stream. Make sure y'all like the video. And of course, visit the channel. We got new videos up. If I can click on it here. New videos up. So make sure y'all watch those and hit like. I got some fried chicken in the oven. I'm about to go in. I'm going in my Lil Wayne voice. Video talking. Oh, yeah, I did see that. I saw that A$AP Ferg interview where they're in that clothing store. Actually, yeah. I used part of that interview in one of the videos, Kendrick videos I did. So, yeah. But anyway, thank y'all for joining. That was another successful Friday live stream. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.